Yeah. So once again, welcome all participants in this international refresher course on research methodology, research writing methods and techniques. So today I will give you some tips and techniques about the research methodology, because all of you know that uh, what is research and what activities we have to done to become a good researcher. Like if you know the basics of research, then it is very easy for all of us to write a paper for journal, or for write a research proposal for like funding project for any organization, and for like final report writing, everything. So when we talk about the research, all of you know that it is a systematic investigation into reality to gain the knowledge, because what we are doing, that should be the new thing, that should be the original, that is very important. Because as you know, nowadays if plagiarism is reported, then it is a crime. So we should take the idea, even when we are using the artificial intelligence or any other platform, we have to take ideas from that topic, but we should not direct copy paste from whatever research has done from the earlier researcher. So we have to know the concept of research. And when we know the concept of research, that is very simple, that what we are doing, what on which topic we are doing research, that should be the new concept, that should be something new, something contributed in the field of education, in the field of knowledge. And what we should do, that should be the original and practical, because research is very important for everyone, even the medical profession, or like other engineering profession, and in education, in every law profession, in every profession, research is very important. Because you know that when we talk about the research, we gather information if there is any existing problem. Because in research, we want to try to solve the problems, what is the existing problem, and what should be the solution of that problem. That's why sometimes we do the action research, sometimes we do the descriptive research. It depends upon that, what are the problems and what type of solution we need for that particular research. So that's why it is important everywhere. And for teachers in education sector, research is very important, because every day our society is changing, needs of the society are changing, some new things are coming every day. Our education system, our way of teaching, way of learning is changing every day. So we have to do dot of research on each area of the education, as a teacher, as a stakeholder of the education. Even in society, we have to know that what changes are going on in psychological factor, in philosophical factor. So it helps us in selecting our problem, in doing our research to get. We should give some contribution to the society, the field of education, and the research only helps us. So when we try to do the research, what do we do first at first? So obviously we have to identify our research problem, because before starting any research, you have to know that why we are doing to do this research. What is the research problem? On which problem you need to do research? Or you can take the research problem as per your interest also. So that you how to select the research problem, that is very important. Because it is said that if you have selected the research problem, half of the work is done. Because if you select the research problem, you are very aware about that, what is this research, how to go with the research, how to get the data collection, how to go for the primary or secondary data, how to get the analysis, everything when you select the research problem. Because when you have to select research problem, first you have to go the literature review. All of you must aware, because when we talk about the literature review, it means that we have to rate the reviews or the findings of the previous researchers. Means what previous researchers have done on this topic, we have to go through their research. And when you go through the previous researchers study, you have to aware about their like background is study, like studies introduction or the background of that topic, how they started their study, what objectives they have taken, what hypothesis they have taken, what methodology they have applied, what interpretation they have done. So you get more or less maximum ideas of that research. And if you rate maximum reviews, you get that odd ideas about the study, and then it is easy for us to get the research gap, because it is very important that you have to identify that what are the research gap. Because when you are doing the research, it is very important to know that you have to know that in which variable you are taking for your study, maybe the dependent variable, independent variable, or the intervening variable. So what variables previous researchers have not taken, that and in which variable you are going to the study. So literature review helps you to know the research gap. Also, literature review helps you to know about the selection of methodology, selection of the way of data collection, selection of like ways of data interpretation, and lot of ideas you get from the literature review. Then if you select your study, then you have to go for the definition of that problem, that actually what is this research problem, how to go for to solve this research problem. So you have to go for the planning of that research, like you frame the objective, you frame the hypothesis. If you go for the qualitative research or quantitative research or mixed method research or action research, experimental research. So you have to plan that which method you will select for your research problem, and how you go do planning for the research, how you collect the data, how you analysis and interpret the data, and how you write the proposal and the report, everything. So you will be aware about your research. Then after that, you have to start writing the research proposal, whether you are doing any course, masters or MPhil or PhD, or you have to write the research proposal also if you have to apply for any research funding program, research project program. So research proposal is very important, because when you apply for the funding program, research project program, they will see your research proposal, and then on the basis of your research proposal, the organization will decide that whether they have to give you fund or not for your research project. Or if your research proposal is selected for that, then they will fund you for that research project. And even for course study also, for like PhD or master's thesis or any master's program or the MPhil program, they will evaluate your proposal, and then after that you will go for the further study. So it's very important. All of you must aware that what is research proposal. It is like 10 to 12 pages, one document in which you have to write your selected problems description, that what is your problem, how you have to frame the objective, hypothesis, you have to select the methodology, you have to select the population of your studies, sample of the study, then area of the study. Then you have to write that your way of collection of data, like development of tool, whether you can develop your tool as a researcher, or you can take the any standardized tool also of the previous researcher in if it is related to that topic. So everything you have to write in short, and then you have to give 5 to 10 reviews also related to that topic. So 7 to 8 or maximum 10 to 12 pages. If you are writing the research proposal for project, then you have to write the time breakup, that budget, you have to give the budget. Then in a course, so you have to write the chapterization also, how you go for the report writing. So that is very important. When you write the research proposal, you should be very careful, because this is the very important step of any research. And research, if you are clear about your research proposal, further study will be very simple for you, because when writing research proposal, you will be aware about your problem, or what should you do for your research study, how you go for the research study, everything will be very clear in your mind. So you should be very careful, like type of analysis what you are doing, how like much time are needed, how much budget, about the budget, what is the budget needed for your study, that how, what is the implication of this study, why you are doing this study, that what it gives to the education, or to the any area in which you want to study. So you have to write in that proposal, and you have to clear about this research proposal. So now the question is, where do we begin? We want to do research, we want to do action research, or qualitative research, or quantitative research, or like sometimes it is compulsion to do research as a teacher, or as an educator, or as sometimes the student also. So main question is, where do we begin? So yes, before starting anything, we have to think once, and then we have to start. So when you write the writing of a research proposal, you have to know the outline or frame, how to write. So first you have to write about the introduction, then literature reviews, then rationale of the study, followed by research questions, then a statement of the problem, then you write the objectives of this study, hypothesis of this study. If you are doing the quantitative study, you have must write the hypothesis of the study. But if you are doing the qualitative study, you keep the hypothesis, or you can skip also the hypothesis. Then operational definitions of the terms used in the research problem, scope and delimitation. Then you have to write the methodology. Under methodology, you have to write the design, type of method, population, sample, tools or instrument used for the data collection, then techniques of data analysis, and procedures of writing report. Then after that, results and discussion. Results and discussion, you don't have during writing the research proposal, but just you write that result will be given at last, and result and discussion will be given at last, and it will be corroborated with the previous studies. Because when you write the research proposal, everything will be written in future tense, because you don't have you are not doing the study, you are just proposing the study, you are just thinking of do the study. So the research proposal will be written in the future tense, that will be done, it will be done, it will be selected, it will be collected. So everything future tense. So results and discussion you don't have now, so you write, then result and discussion will be given at last, and it will be corroborated with the previous studies. Summary and conclusion. Also, you can write one sentence, then summary and conclusion will be given at last. Then references you give, because what literature review you have given, whose reviews you have given, you have to must give that name in the references. And if the introductory part you have taken from some like from website or from some sources, so you have to that acknowledge those resources in the references part. So we will go one by one, like introduction part. So what we write the introduction, if a research proposal you see, you must have seen the research proposal, or you must have done many times. or we have evaluated so many research proposals. Sometimes we find that many researchers have written research proposal 2-3 page that only about the introduction. That is not needed 2 to 3 pages. 1 page or 1.5 page is enough for the introduction, because when you write the introduction, you are writing the brief background of the that topic. About, suppose you are doing the study the emotional intelligence of teachers. Suppose your study is emotional intelligence of teachers. So when you're writing the research proposal, you have to write that what is emotional intelligence and how it is related to the teachers, how it affected to the teachers, and why emotional intelligence is very important, why emotional quotient is very important for the teachers. So it's hardly take 1.5 page. You have to write the introduction. When you are writing the research proposal, when you write the report will be like 200 page, 400 page, it depends upon the study. Then you write 40 to 50 pages in introduction. That time you can write details about the emotional intelligence, some few case study also, that you can write in detail. But when you write the research proposal, you should be very clear about the topic, what topic you are taking, and you write only that is related to the topic. Then literature review, again, when you write the literature review, you give 5 to 10 literature review, and literature review also should be directly related to the topic. If your topic is emotional intelligence of teachers, then your all literature reviews 5 to 10 what you are giving in the research proposal, that should be directly related to that particular topic, emotional intelligence of teachers. But when you are writing the report, then you give the 100 or 150 reviews, then you write the emotional intelligence with some other variables, or with some like a higher education teacher, some like school teacher, or some university teacher, or in other field also you can write it. You can write in detail, or various type of reviews you can write related to the emotional intelligence. But in proportion, you should be very clear that you write 5 to 6 or 10 reviews related particularly to that topic. Then when you write the rationale of the study, rationale of the study means that is the need of the study, importance of the study, why you have selected this study, why you have chosen this study only, why you want to study on the emotional intelligence of the teachers, you have to justify. So here, need and importance of the study, you write one paragraph, and you have to justify your selection of the topic, followed by the research question. Research question means that what research questions comes from the background of the study or reviews of the study. So after reviews of the study, you know about the research gap. And when you know the research gap, then you can frame the research question. Okay, these things, many researchers have done a study on the emotional intelligence of the teachers, but these variables they have not touched, or these things are needed in the areas where we want to do the study, or these things are must included where we want to do this study. So you know about the research gap, and then it is very easy to you to frame the research questions. So rationale of the study is followed by research questions. And when you frame the research questions, then it is very easy to you to frame the objective and hypothesis. A statement of the problem, you write the just your problem, topic of the study. Objectives, you write that what you want to study, what is your goal to start this study. You write 3 to 5 objectives. And if you are doing the quantitative study, you must include the hypothesis, because hypothesis, all of you know that it is the tentative proposition or prediction about the outcome of the study. Because when you do the hypothesis testing, then it is very easy for you to know the findings of the study. But if you do the pure qualitative study, then you can write also, you can skip also hypothesis, then it is not mandatory. Operation definition means what term you are using in your study. Suppose emotional intelligence of teachers. So you have to write what is the meaning of emotional intelligence. because maybe the different psychologists have given the different meaning of emotional intelligence as per their research, as per their study. So what do you mean the emotional intelligence? In your study, you have to write that meaning of terms. And then scope and delimitation, because you know that when a researcher is doing the research, it is not possible for any researcher to take a wide areas or like the huge number of sample. So we have to restrict our sample also, and we have to restrict it to our area also. Suppose I am in West Bengal, India, I can't take the whole world as my research field. So it is not possible for me to connect the data from the everywhere. So we have to restrict our study. It's very feasible for me to connect data from the West Bengal or from some part of the West Bengal where we can go and connect the data, or even the like if you are doing the online connection of data, you can't take the whole area, because if sample will be, if you are taking the huge sample, you may not get the proper response from all the sending the mail or any online sources. So you have to restrict about your area, or you have to restrict about your sample when you do any type of research. Methodology also depend upon the study, which methods you are selecting. You can take the experimental method, descriptive method. You can do the normative survey method. So what type of a study, and under method, you know that different designs. So that is related to the method. You can set it as per your study. And after that, you go for the data collection, data. And when you do this is in proposal, only you have to write that we have to collect data from this way, or we have to analysis from this way, only you have to write. When you do for the real study, then you collect data, interpret data, and that is for long time. Now result and discussion, only you write that it will be given at last, and it will be corroborated with the previous researches. So summary and conclusion also you write one sentence, and reference you give the alphabetical wise. Be careful when you write the research proposal or any research writing or the research paper. But when you write the reviews, you write that increasing order of the year. Suppose now today is this year is 2025, or you are taking the 10 reviews. So you start write the 2020, then 21, then 22, 23, 24, 25. Like this you have to write. So year wise. But when you write the references, that should be alphabetical wise, A, B, C, D, A to Z. So that should be keep in mind these things. And then if you are writing research proposal for any project, so you have to write the budget, time breakup, and sometimes they need the appendices also for that project also. And even the for PhD also, they want to need the tools. If you are framing the tools yourself, you have to show. And if you are taking some standardized tools, so also sometimes the evaluator want to see the like questionnaire. So you can give the appendices, or if it is not needed, you can skip this also. So this is all about the research proposal. Hope you will understand. Or any question related to research proposal, then we will go for the structure of a thesis report. If any question from your side.
From audience, if you have any questions, you can do it from a doctor. Otherwise, she will forward.
Ang problema kung hindi mo alam kung kaliwa o kanan ang mo hinihabol. Walang problema yun. Basta importante na-accomplish mo. May mga bagay na hindi na pagtutuon ng pansin.
Yes, I have.
Di ba? Di ba, ang dami nag-iisip natin.
Dr. Irfan?
Yeah, yes, please.
Please, you can do it.
Oh, yes, Dr. Savita, good afternoon, as well as Dr.
Yes, please.
All right. Again, do you hear me now?
Yeah, now your voice is clear. But I think
All right. Thanks so much, because it's becoming they're muted. Anyway, this is Professor Iman Garcia of Quezon City University, Dr. Savita from the very start, as I listened to all the anatomy of the research paper, as what you are saying, I noticed that there are two things that I keep on listening concerning about what, not touching about the abstract or anything. Rather, after this review of related literature (RRL), under that, is there's need for us as a researcher to include as well the synthesis. This is to inform everyone about the importance of your research, what you conducted. Second thing that I would like to ask to enlighten me, if ever, if there's a need for us to include in any type of research proposal about the ethical considerations. For me, it is imperative for us to understand better about what is this ethical consideration. It has to do with the research and the researchee and the researcher and the respondents, because we are attaining about the integrity of wherein we can protect about how they conduct this research. Any suggestions or comments that you can share with us, so that we will be more enlightened, more listening about as you touch the structure of this research proposal. Thank you, Dr. Savita.
Thank you, sir. That yes, your observation is right, and it depends upon the researcher also, that how they carry their research, and it depends upon the study also, because same thing you can't apply for on method on methodology, and like experimental method, your maybe different approach is different. Action research, your approach may be different. If you are doing the case study research, your approach may be different. But today we are discussing that general that method of the study, and these are the, as you know, that research is a scientific study. You have to follow a method wise, step by step, then only the proper result, proper outcome will come out. So we have to follow this standard procedure, but when your research is different, where your subject, even the varied subject to subject. Suppose your subject is history, so your way of if you are applying the historical method of research, your way of study is different. If you belong from the language, you are doing the separate method. You have selected your way of study is different. But today we are discussing as a general method, and this is followed by all subject and all type of methodology. So
Uh, yes, ma'am. I agree with you. Since this has to do with the general method that you're using, and a while ago I heard from your end about this the scientific method, right? And thus the scientific method has to do with what? A kind of approach wherein we
yes,
can adapt this as an objective, a causal, a cumulative, and a progressive.
yes,
Now, in having this kind, emphasizing about the reliability and the existential reliability, viability, and invigorating something about this, how we can adapt, which that we are going to sustain everything about on what we are conducting when it comes to scientific method.
yes, sir, yes, sir. That yeah, that researcher will select that what type of study they are taking, and that how we go for the study, sir. No problem. That is.
All right, that
Okay.
is only I make a clarification concerning the. Thank you
Yeah,
so
yeah.
much, ma'am, for the shared wisdom that you have given us. Thanks
Uh,
so much.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. So I am sure that everyone is comfortable with research proposal, with whatever your research paper, research subject, and whatever your areas. Okay, then we go ahead with a structure of a thesis report.
Thank you. Thank you, doctor. You go ahead and structure of thesis report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So now you are ready with your research proposal. So you are stepping ahead of to your success. So now research proposal is ready. It is passed by the evaluator, and now you have to do that, write the report. So before writing report, what you have to do, you have to collect the data, you have to interpret the data, and you like discussion, everything is ready with you, finding of the study. So now everything ready with you. Now you start writing a report. So what should be the structure of a thesis report? That what area certificate, because I have told that in the scope and delimitation, you have to delimit your area, and in which area you are doing the study, you need one certificate for that. Then guides or supervisor certificate you need, declaration and acknowledgement declaration from your side that what you have done is study, that is the original, and that is not submitted to any university or any organization. Then acknowledgement, you have to acknowledge who have helped you, maybe your supervisor, or like from where you have collected the data, or your parents, your friends. You have to acknowledge in that acknowledgement certificate. Then you have to write the content, list of tables, list of figures, list of appendices. You have to give in table form with page number, everything. And then you have to write the abstract. Abstract means of that summary of the whole study. It should be 1.5 page or 2 page. So if your study will be the 200 or 400 pages, you have to write the abstract. In abstract, everything you have to write, that objective, hypothesis, in a summary or methodology or findings. So anyone will study any that evaluator or any researcher will read the abstract, they can understand the gist of the study. So that you should include in abstract. Then you start the report writing from the introduction. Same thing, introduction, you have to write the background of the study, emotional intelligence of the teachers. So you have to write the emotional intelligence, their components, some few examples on emotional intelligence, few case study on emotional intelligence, and you have to write 40 to 50 pages in the introductory part. Then you start the problem where you write the review of the related literature. Here you have to give the 100, 150. That depends upon the study, that how many research literature you are getting from that particular study. Then you have to write that major findings of the that literature, what you have included in your study. Then rationale of this study, here you have everything you have to write in detail, because you are writing the report. So you have to write in detail, then followed by research question. You can't change what you have written in the research proposal, you have to write in same thing. Then statement of the problem, you have to write the topic. Objective of the hypothesis, objective and hypothesis should not change, that you have written in proposal. You have to follow that. But if you think that when you frame the research proposal, even it is passed by the evaluator, when you do the study, when you go to the field and you and you feel that this is not feasible, what objective I have selected to do the study, if it is not feasible on that, you can change the objective. You can't change the title of your study, because it is evaluated by the, or it is passed by some university and some organization. But everything you can change. Objective you can change, research question you can change, if you think that is not feasible to go for that objective. Otherwise, if it is okay, then you no need to change all this. And if it is changed, then you select the another objective and you go for that study. Then operational definition, already you have written, you continue with that. Scope and delimitation, you continue with that. Then methodology. Here methodology, you have to write in the proposal, you have to written only 1 line, but here you have to write written about the methodology, why you have selected this descriptive survey, and why it is meaningful for the selection of this methodology, why you have selected only this methodology only. So you have to aware about that. Then design, suppose you have taking the descriptive method, so you have to take the ex post facto design or the normative survey design. You have to write that in detail. Then population and sample. Population you have to write in detail. Sample, the selection of sample, whether this is the probability sample or non-probability sample, or like what type of random quota cluster, what sample, purposive sample, what sample you have selected, you have to write in detail and with justification. In research, it is very important. Whatever you write, it should be justified by the study only. No one will, every time, no one will ask you that why you have written. It is written so nicely that it is justified. Anyone can read, and it will not happen from their side that they will ask the question. They will understand to study your report. Yes, the researcher has written everything. It is very clear from from this study. So that should be written. And you have to write about the tool used. Tool means instrument, that I have told earlier also, whether you have to use the standardized tool. Suppose I have done the study on attitude towards science. If you want to do the attitude towards science, you can take my tool or some other researcher tool, or you can develop your tools also. And I always prefer to develop the tools, because you know that in my viewpoint, to develop tools is itself doing research, mini research. And when you develop the tools, you know so many things of the research, and you will be very happy to see your creation. You will be happy that yes, I have developed this tool, and I am doing this study with my tool also. I have connected the data with my tool also. So it gives you happiness. And in my viewpoint, it is very important for any researcher. Then your research will give you the happiness. If you are doing research for 2 years, 3 years, or 6 months, or 4 months, and it will not give you a smile in your face, then there is no use of doing research. So you do the research with happy faces. So beginning with happiness, ending with happiness. And you must learn so many things while develop the tools. So you must try to develop your tools for your study, or if it is not problem, that you can take the standardized tools also. And if you are ready with the tools, you have already collected the data, you analysis the data, you have interpreted the data, then you can write about details, the techniques of data analysis, whether you have taken the T ratio or F ratio, ANOVA, ANCOVA, regression, chi-square, whatever you have done, you have to write in that. Under result and discussion, you have to discussion with the result, collaborate with the previous researchers. Then summary and recommendation, you have to give the summary of your study, conclusion, a recommendation you give the suggestion and the implication of the present study, then followed by references and appendices. So that is very simple of the writing the research report. But when you write the abstract, you have to keep few things in mind, because when you write the abstract, it is the summary of the body of the information, and main things is written in the abstract. So you have to ask question while writing the this abstract to you, or only, that why did you do this study or this project? What did you do and how? What did you find? What do your findings means? So these all answers you have to include in your abstract. That is very important. And criteria of the abstract, it should not exceed 250 words when you are writing for any research paper or some project. But sometimes if it is needed, your study is too big, so you can write more than these words also. So maybe 1 paragraph or 2 paragraph. But when you write the abstract, it should be very clear, and everything should be included. Your own information about your study should be included in the abstract portion. Then introduction, when you write the introduction, you should be very careful about that it should be restricted to your topic only, and like brief description of the topic. You have to give some case study, you have to give some examples, because it is followed by the objectives, scope of the study. Everything is depend upon the background of the study. So when you write, you have to be very careful about writing. Literature review, yes, literature review. For literature review, you have to go down. Now nowadays it is very easy to do research. When we have done research there that time, not so much resources are available. Now in your fingertips, you can find the literature reviews, 1,000 literature review. If you ResearchGate is there, academia is there. There are so many government website is there where you find the literature reviews. But when you write the literature reviews, you go for the detailed study and you write in your language. Don't copy paste their abstract, or because sometimes when we evaluate the PhD thesis, we have seen that researchers have copy paste the abstract of from the website. So don't do like this. You have to just go through their study and you write in your own language. So plagiarism will not come when you do this activity. And this will take little bit time, but plagiarism free, you have to write. Methodology, you have to select the methodology, you have to justify, and you have to write about the method of data collection and analysis. Everything you have to write during methodology. And methodology should be very precise, complete, and concise. You have to give every relevant information. Don't give the unnecessary data, only the what necessary you have to include in that. And questions, how how much should be answered, and no question will be left under methodology, so that evaluator will ask you so many questions during the evaluation or after evaluation. Everything should be written in such a clear form that they will understand by reading, yes, researcher have done in written this study. So methodology should be written in such form. And when you write the result, so you should be very careful about giving the tables and figures, whether you are giving the histogram or you are giving the normal probability curve, or the like pie chart. So whatever you are giving, it should be very clear, because all of you know that result is the
Mamaya,
part
pagkadating ng
of the any
oh,
report or any research paper
Rachel,
or
checking
any.
dito si Ana kasi may
Yes. So any problem? Okay, sound is coming. Please.
No, you can carry on your presentation.
Okay. Okay. So you have to keep in mind while writing the tables and figures, it should not be repeated again and again, because it tells a complete story of your report. So whenever it is needed, you have to give the figure and table, and don't repeat the same data again and again. You should be very careful about that. And when you writing the conclusion, that you have to write the results and findings of the study, then discussion with the result. You have to give the recommendation, suggestion, you have to give the implication of the study, and what are the significance of these outcomes. So discussion, when you do, you know that it is very difficult, because you are writing on the basis of your result, what results have come out, you are doing the discussion on that. So you have to show the relationships among observed facts, and you have to give the collaborate with the earlier studies. Yes, you have to justify that what results has come out from your study, that should be correct. And you conclude, you have to conclude that your study is the perfect study. It should be followed by the scientific method, and you have to summarize your evidence for each variables. You have to write the conclusion in a very clear form. You have to give the significance of the study, implication of the study, and references. Sometimes thesis is rejected by not writing references in a proper form. So you should be very careful about the writing the references. The reference you give the alphabetical wise, and like when you write the citation, from where you have taken, from the journal, from the website, from the any government site, or from the ResearchGate, from the books, or from the journals. You have to mention, and you have to follow the APA style or MLA style. You have to write So it is easy to write the one writing process, one draft before writing the report. So that will guide you for proper writing. Like you have to give the outline. I have to go to write the report. So this is my outline. This is introduction methodology like this. You have to first do the draft writing, then you have to revise again and again. If it is needed the modification, you edit, you modify. Even you feel that my study is perfect, I have written everything, but again if you study, you find so many mistakes in your own study, or sometimes you give your friend to recheck sometimes English or grammar, spelling, or like any sentence formation. So someone will check, then your supervisor is always with you to help you. He will supervise, he will check your writing. And that is very important, that English, when you write in English language or any language, whenever you write, that should be grammatically correct, spelling should be correct, and the sentence formation should be correct. And research, it is very important that your how you are writing your report, because it is one of the policy document. Maybe it is it helps government, or it helps the any organization to like use this data or use this result. So that should be written very nice manner, and you can take help from your professor friend, or if your guide, supervisor, librarians, like from any friend, any those who are doing research. So they can help you in doing on this. And you should be very careful about the plagiarism, because when you direct copy paste from AI tools, or like any journal or any website, it shows the plagiarism. So you take the ideas from that and you write in your words. If you are taking the definition that you can't change something, you can't change, so you acknowledge that author, you can write. And always try to be original, and try to avoid the plagiarize, because it is already done by someone with a lot of labor, and we should not copy just like that without acknowledge them. So you follow this one, you can quote the author. That is some like if you are some definition, if you are taking any things, you can cite and you can acknowledge that one. So references you can give at last, and you give alphabetical wise, and you give the each and every sources what you have included in your study. You can follow some academic writing also, you follow the references, but when you write the dissertation, we write the references, but when you write book, so you have to write the bibliography. And we follow, sometimes we follow the APA format, and sometimes we follow the MLA format. If your subject is social science or education, APA format generally followed. And if your like English or some language, MLA format is followed by that. So if you are taking from any books, the way of writing is like this. If you are writing from like encyclopedia or dictionary, the way of writing is different, the differences. So if you are writing from the magazine or newspaper, the way of writing differences is different. So you can see in this slide that is written from the magazine and newspaper article. So author's last name come first, then first name, then article, and then the date and page number on that. So you should be very careful about writing the references, and very important that you have to proofread again and again. Before submission your thesis to any organization or even to supervisor, you have to proofread again and again, and you have to ask these questions to yourself. Did you check the properly grammar, punctuation, word choice, spelling? Did I capitalize the beginning of each sentence and on proper nouns? Did I answer all of the topic questions and fulfill of the requirements on my rubric? Did I include an introduction and conclusion? Did I revise details, consider clarity and relevance, and check on that for documentation format. So you check, and then you have to give anyone for checking and for submission. So some more questions you have to ask that have I had my thesis peer edited? Does my thesis flow when? Did I include reference page? That did I use the paraphrase or concern? Did I type the thesis? That everything you have to follow, and then you have to give for thesis. So yes, you have finished your writing research report. Now your proposal is already ready with you. It is evaluated by the evaluators. Now you have data connected, in data interpreted, you have you have written already a report. Now report is ready with you, so you feel the happiness, and now you feel that yes, I finished, I have done my work, and this gives you the happiness. And as a researcher, I always think that if your work will give you happiness, that is no such reward you get from anyone. Maybe few correction are needed in dissertation, no problem. If you are very clear about your research, you will ready to take on correction. And again, if it is modification is needed, you are ready to modify your dissertation again and again. And for after that, everything will be very easy for you. So hope today I tried to give you the overall scenario of the like research, or you can say the everything about the research, because it is very important whether you are writing the research paper or research proposal or any report writing for funding project or any course. You have to clear about the concept that how we start the beginning and how we end this thesis. Because if you are starting any work, you have lots of things in your mind. So thinking is one process, but implementation is very important. How you implement those things in a practically, that is very important. So I hope that I am clear in my concept. And if any question, I must welcome all questions from your side. Thank you once again, organization, for giving me opportunity to share my viewpoint with such learned person, such learned group. And I'm very thankful to Honorable Vice Chancellor of the university for giving me opportunity to be a part of this international refresher course. Thank you once again from India. Thank you.